Now let us consider an example of 3D array where we would be declaring a 3D array, initialize it and print it. Now we would be declaring an integer 3D array named test, which would have 3 dimensions. Let's say the first dimension is 2, second is 3 and next is 2. Now imagine this as 2 pages. The first dimension represents that it has 2 pages. Each page has one 2D array. Now the 2D array consists of 3 rows and 2 columns. So this is how the size is specified, consisting of 2 2D arrays, and each 2D array consists of 3 columns and 2 rows. Now next, we would tell the user to enter elements. Now for scanning purpose, we would be using 3 loops for which we would require 3 counters. So let us first declare 3 counters as I, j and k. We would be using nested for loops. So the first for loop will traverse through all the 2D arrays. So I equal to 0, I is less than 2. The first dimension is 2, so I will be less than 2 and I plus plus. The next for loop will traverse through the rows, that is j equal to 0, j is less than 3, j plus plus. And the last for loop will traverse through the columns, that is k equal to 0, k is less than 2, k plus plus. And this would represent a single element which we will scan using %d format specifier, and we would store at the address of test array, and the element would be specified as I, j and k. Here initially I will be equal to 0, j will be equal to 0, k will be equal to 0. So it will store the first element at test 0, 0, 0. That is the first element of a 3D array. Next, the k will be updated to 1. So the next element would be stored at 0, 0, 1. That is the second element of a 3D array, and so on. Next, we would be printing the array. So we would tell the user that the array is, and we would apply the logic for printing the array same as that we applied for scanf. So for loop I equal to 0, I is less than 2, I plus plus. For j equal to 0, j is less than 3, j plus plus. And for k equal to 0, k is less than 2, k plus plus, and we would print it. Printf %d space, and it would print the element as test of I, of j, of k. Now, in the first iteration, I would be equal to 0, j would be equal to 0 and k would be equal to 0. So it will print test 0, 0, 0. That is the first element of 3D array. In the next iteration, k would be updated to 1. So it would print test of 0, 0, 1. That is the second element. Now next, after printing each row, we need to print a new line. So we would use that escape sequence for new line. Similarly, after each 2D array, we again need a new line. So we would print an escape sequence for new line. So we would enter the elements as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Now how many elements this 3D array will contain is by multiplying all the sizes, that is 2 3s are 6 and 6 2s are 12. So we have specified the 12 elements. So this first 2 elements will consist of the first row of the first 2D array. The next 2 elements will be the second row of the first 2D array. The next 2 elements, that is 5 and 6, would be the third row of first 2D array. Similarly, the next 6 elements would be for next 2D array. And let's see the output. The output is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the first 2D array. The next 2D array is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 consisting of 3 rows and 2 columns. So these 2D array combinedly makes a 3D array. In the next coming section, that is strings and user defined data types, We would be starting with strings and user-defined data types such as structures, enumerations, that is enums, union, and typedef.